Hey guys, this is Nikki.
This is Sam.
Welcome back to So What? What's Next?
I spent the bag on the bundle. Turn around and take a flip and make a double. Listen, baby, with me you ain't never gotta struggle. I'm in the game 650, catch a triple double. Watch it tumble, tumble, watch it tumble. Tumbling, tumbling, tumbling. This is coming and keep on tumbling. Watch it tumble, tumble, watch it tumble. Tumbling, tumbling, tumbling. This is coming and keep on tumbling.
Hey guys, welcome back. Hey Sam.
Hey, Miss Nikki Roberts. How you doing?
I am well. I am well. Um, Happy to see you. Happy to be back with you.
It is awesome. It is awesome to be back in 2020. We're in 22, right?
We are in 2022. That's where we are.
These years move fast as hell once you get past your 30s. Once you get into your 30s, mid 30s, like that shit just starts sloping. Like it's like we all downhill.
It goes exponentially fast, right?
It does.
It does. It does. But we are in 2022, contrary to belief. So how's the year starting off for you?
Same old, same old. I did a lot of good jobs setting things up in 2021, so I'm hoping to start bearing some fruit in the next month or so. From the things I set up in 2021. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about 22. I'm feeling good about 22. How about yourself?
I excel in even number years, right? So
Mm.
I am excited about 2022.
Well, I see how you doing odd number years, so I'm very excited to see what happened in these even number years.
These odd number years are kind of tricky, man. Like I had a lot of good things that happened last year, but it was tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. 2021 was no hope. It
Yeah.
had me in the headlock, but I'm excited. Already halfway through January, and things are looking up. Had an opportunity for some business ventures. Was invited to speak at a couple of different engagements that are now moving virtual because COVID is still rearing its ugly head.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for what the year entails. One of the things I'm really, really excited about is the advancement in technology. Um, I don't know if I had a chance to run this by you, but we're seeing different ways commerce is happening, and commerce is going beyond just paying with your phone or with your watch or with a credit card, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually now seeing different ways that things are being commercialized digitally. Are you familiar with the metaverse, Sam?
I am not. So I have seen it at the bottom of like Facebook and the bottom of
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, and I've
You
heard of
mean on the bottom of Meta?
yeah, now it's called Meta. So I have heard about that, but please explain to me.
So don't take my word, as Bible, but from my experience and understanding the metaverse, what I'm looking at now is I mean it's a whole different, it's the Sims on crack and heroin.
Mm.
Like it's literally an alternate universe. It's a virtual reality world, right? So
Right.
if you guys are familiar with the Sims, you know how you can create these different avatars and this different family, and you could have them to, you can simulate real life situations.
Mm.
But in the metaverse, users can interact, you can game. I've had friends holding TED Talks in the metaverse. You
Well,
can actually
who is a holding a TED talk these days?
who isn't hosting one in real life or in the metaverse.
Yeah.
But you could create your whole, avatar. You could be a whole different person in the metaverse. If you want to be, I almost said the B word. If you want to be a bad chick with a
Hmm.
BBL in the metaverse, you can do that. If you want to go on and just game, you can do that. There are people that are selling clothes, selling, it's kind of like the clubhouse phenomenon, right?
Right.
You basically can access the metaverse through the goggles. I think you guys have seen them out there, the Oculus goggles, and you can enter any alternate universe, and you can be a boxer. You can be again a spokesperson. You can be an athlete. You can literally host your own club. You can be a DJ. You can do anything in this metaverse. And it was really, really cool to see my girlfriend, Keisha McCautry, um, check her out. She's Life as Keisha, Keisha, on social media. She is a guru in the PR world, and she was the one who enlightened me to all the different things that are happening in the
Mm-hmm.
metaverse. And I'm like, okay, I'll jump to it later. She's like,
Right.
no, you need to jump to it now because here are the reasons why. And she gave me 5 bullet points and said, hey, this is why you need to do it. I jump on there and
Yeah.
Sam, like people are dating in the metaverse.
So have they met each other in real life, or like it's just like?
No, they're literally interacting in this virtual reality. Like this is a whole alternate world.
Wow.
Like
So
you can literally put on your goggles and you're going to a whole different, realm.
so everything in Black Mirror is happening. That's what you're trying to tell me.
Everything in Black Mirror was already in production once Black Mirror aired. Like
True.
we like this is where life is imitating art at this point, right?
Right.
It's bananas to me to see how this has truly enveloped into people monetizing it, and I'm actually impressed.
Right.
I think, the iGen, which is, Gen Z. Well, I think I forgot what the new generation is. But they are finding ways to make their own money. They're finding ways to capitalize off of being influencers, even in real life and in the metaverse.
Oh wow.
And I guess, when you think about it, are you concerned about people not being eventually getting to the point where we can't tell reality from virtual reality?
Man, so I'm not gonna lie. The reason why I watch Black Mirror is because it's so freaking scary to me. Because it all seems very, very possible.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at our society, people want to live in an alternate universe any damn way. So if you give them access to an alternate universe, I'm pretty sure they would do it. So that's man, like you was telling me about some of this. I was like, what? Like I just couldn't believe what you were saying because like I value the in-person conversation and the in-person feels, to everything. So that's kind of out there, man. Like that's out there for me. I mean, is that weird to you? Like,
So in the industry that I work in, like it's not necessarily weird. I just say that it's coming so fast.
mm-hmm.
Right. I think, there's not a real adjustment period, right? Because I realized that, I'm the auntie now, right? Where
Right.
I was up on these things and I was the one telling my aunts and uncles about social media. My daughter and her friends are now telling me about, this is how you do this on TikTok, or this is how you do this in this space, or murder mystery, or in Roblox, or in all these different things. So am I a little concerned? Yes, but I'm also intrigued because this is the wave of the future, right? And I'm usually an early adopter when these things happen. I'm not, the one to like wait and see. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, let's go. We jumping in head first. We're gonna do the baptism by fire. Like, let's go and see what's happening. But it is concerning because just like video games for us when we were growing up was a concern that it would perpetuate violence
Mhm.
in children. I feel that if there's not enough instruction or if there's not enough of a foundation of based in reality, that this could be a problem.
Mm. That's I did not know this was all going on. So what's the boy name from Facebook? He is like evil. He's really trying to take over. He's trying to build his own
He
world.
is literally evil Magneto.
He's evil. Okay. I was just
He
just
really is. But the way they're marketing it is, again, this is the intention for it, right? But
right.
just because this is the intention doesn't mean the way it's going to be utilized. And I think his intention for Facebook was to connect people, right?
Right.
But then it was used to rig elections and put, different data and information out there, which totally has transformed the way we use social media now, right?
Right.
And that's why it's called for regulation and things of that nature.
Man, that's wild. That is wild.
So,
That's good. That's wild stuff, Nikki. I'm finna go look up all this metaverse stuff, and I'm finna be in a rabbit hole for like the next week and a half. So
I know that's your new assignment. So by the time we jump back on for the pod, you're gonna have to tell me your thoughts about the metaverse, and we'll have to do another deep dive.
So let's get to this dating part though. Like,
Well, that's the thing, right? Because on the metaverse, the real catch here is that people are dating, people are interacting, people are, having a good time in the metaverse. And it makes me think that, what's going to be the next evolution in dating apps? I will be honest and tell you that I used a dating app once, like eons ago, and I was like, this is not for me. I might have been on there for a week and was
Mhm.
just like, yeah, this is not it. I've always had the fortune of meeting people face to face or being introduced to people by, a friend. But
Right.
now that people are meeting in the metaverse, it's like a whole new generation of catfishing.
Mm.
Right. And
Right.
for those of you who are not familiar with catfishing, it's basically imitating someone on the internet that you're not. You're basically an imposter. You're impersonating another individual and passing it off as it being you. But it makes me think, what's our next step in the evolution of dating apps or just dating in general? Because I am a face to face, let's
Mhm.
go out, let's interact, let's hold hands, let's, go out and grab some food. I am that touchy feely type of person when I want to be, in a touchy feely mood.
Right.
Like, if I'm dating in a virtual reality world, what does that now look like? Because dating now is easy. I can just pick up my phone and swipe if I'm interested or not, right?
Right.
Wherein, our family members had to actually walk up to a woman or to a man and approach them and engage in a conversation. Now I can just swipe on my phone and send a DM or send a message and I get instant gratification, right?
Right. But
So,
doesn't that make? But I thought that's something that helps women with boundaries, though. Like the dating apps, like it's because I mean nowadays you can't even really approach a woman without her feeling. I don't know. Like I don't know. I mean, women are very weird about you approaching them nowadays. It's kind of odd, actually.
I'll elaborate a little bit more on that. What
No,
do
I
you
mean,
mean? Like, are they concerned? Are they?
I do think because of I don't want to blame media because men do weird shit. So I can't. I'm not gonna downgrade a woman's experience, right? But
Mhm.
but I do know, like I had this one situation where I was literally in a grocery store and I was grabbing something for my son, and I was trying to figure out what was the best. Well, he had a rash. He had a rash. That's what it was. And I was trying to find the best cream for him for his rash.
Okay.
And this woman was there. Me and her about the same age. And I was like, yeah, I was like, what do you think is the best cream for the rat? And like when I asked her, it's like she jumped, got scared, and like, I don't really know. I was like, okay, well, okay, I was just curious. I didn't want to.
You were just asking her to help you out with, getting the best ointment, right? To get
Yeah,
the
and
best
then
cream. And she was kind of like, why are you asking me?
yeah,
Like,
then she
who are
she did
you?
apologize because she seen me later, still in the same aisle, going through because I went and asked the clinic people, in Walgreens, and they was giving me some advice, and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you really was looking for cream for your son." I
Oh,
was
she
like,
thought you were being a creep. She thought that was your pickup.
right,
She
right.
thought that was
So
your setup.
right, so I was like, "Nah, you good. It's okay. It's understandable." So I do feel like um and then even you go to clubs, women travel in packs now in clubs, so they don't really want to be approaching a club or anymore like that. They all kind of everybody
Mm.
kind of gets in their circle nowadays and just kind of stays in those circles. It's kind of
Well,
weird. So
let's stop right there because let me tell you about the circle.
it ain't just women either though. Men do it too. Men are
The
doing the little
circle is
circle thing
created
too.
to keep certain people out because
Right.
trust me, if there's someone she's interested in and they approach the circle, we move out of the way
Oh,
for it to
okay.
happen,
Okay. So the
right?
circle. Okay. So the
Um,
circle is a there's a rhyme and a reason for the circle.
there's a method to the madness for sure.
Learning something new every
But
day.
I will say that I can't speak to being on dating apps because I haven't done it. But I will say that I have friends that have found their spouses
Hmm.
on dating apps. The one that I'm hearing the most success with is OkCupid. This is not an endorsement. This is just me sharing what's happening in my friend circle.
Right.
I have had friends that have met their life partners on these dating apps.
Hmm.
And I also have some men and women friends that both explain their disdain for, unrealistic expectations and things of that nature through dating apps. I even think Insecure did a really good job of highlighting it when Molly revisited her dating profile and saw how crazy she was for listing some of the things she had on the dating app. If you're not 6 feet with 2 degrees, keep scrolling. Like she literally
Right.
said that, right? Like I think there's just a warped vision of um the true dating scene. And as one of my girlfriends says religiously, she says the dating pool has pee in it.
Now, why does she
um
say that? Why does she say the dating pool has pee
You
in
know,
it?
I just think, that's just been her experience with the apps, right? Like I said,
Mm,
I have both extremes. I have friends who have found success on dating apps and they're winning and they're married and they're happy. And then I have some friends that are just like, oh my God, I'm over this. I don't ever want to be on this app again. I'm shutting it down.
I
And
mean,
I say all of this because, if you're having issues now in a current dating app, in the metaverse, I'm just assuming that you know these issues are exponentially more obtuse
mm,
um in my thought process. But I'm interested to understand what the next step or next phase of interaction or even communication is going to be, because if everybody's interacting through these interfaces,
yeah,
what happens when you actually get face to face with someone?
man,
Right? If
it's
all our interaction is in virtual reality or in dating apps, if we actually meet face to face, Sam, and
yeah,
I'm expecting this charismatic individual and we get
right.
together
You're an
and you're kind
introvert.
of like, you're like a can of sweet peas,
Right.
like,
It's I don't know. It's crazy because I think though we do experience that, right? Like, I mean, I met you through Twitter, right?
oh, and we still together.
Right, right. I met you through Twitter.
This is
Um,
true.
that's true, right? So I've met several people actually through Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And it is awkward when you finally do meet a person off of a social media app. I think it's kind of weird because it's different, right? It's different.
Yeah,
Like, it's this person that has this profile on Twitter or Tinder or Facebook. Is that what they really does that profile tell the story of who they really are, right?
right.
Um, so I think it just depends on the person, right? I think it depends on the person. Um, I'm charismatic regardless, but I think I'm actually less charismatic on Twitter. That's what I think. I think I'm less charismatic on Twitter than what I am in person. Like, I think I'm better in person than I am on a social media app. But I do think it's safer because I think you get a more of an idea of what you're walking into if you following people on Twitter and social media apps, and you maybe if you're doing a metaverse, whatever that is, maybe you get an idea. But eventually, people are just fake, kind of like Clubhouse. How everybody's like an entrepreneur, a real estate agent, a content creator. I did a short film when I was 5.
Everyone's an influencer, everyone's a boss, everyone is making money, and that's why I try not to put too much stock in social media. We do have the fortune where a lot of people that we have met through social media are truly themselves, right? We've
Yeah,
had that fortune where we are meeting the real version of people. Like you are in person, how you are online, how you are in person.
right.
And I think, that's a blessing in itself because again, we meet so many people that are truly genuine and authentic, right? If we see someone on social media and they're an asshole and we meet them and they're still an asshole, we're like, yes, consistency, right? We
Right,
appreciate that.
right, right, right.
So I think, even when one of my friends asked me, like, hey, Nikki, would you date a man with a rush card? And I was like, fam, I feel like you don't even know me. Like, why would you ask me this? Like, you know the answer to this question before you ask
Nick,
me
you
this.
like I'm not even in those circles. I'm not in a circle with somebody with a rush
What are
card.
we what are we doing? What are we doing, right? And one of my friends brought up a really good point where, I live in the city of the flexer, right? I live in
Right.
Atlanta. So everybody has a luxury vehicle. Everybody's making six figures, and everybody's living a life and this, that, and the third.
Mhm.
And then when you realize that they don't even have a place to lay their head, that they're homeless, you know, it's kind of like you're not meeting the real person, right? Because I'm just meeting the persona you put online. And I imagine if that happens in the age of Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Meta,
Yeah.
in this virtual reality, it's only going to be exacerbated, right?
Right. Right.
It's only going to be more flexing. It's only going to be more of people putting out what the content that they think we want to see in order to attract the person that they desire.
Yeah, it's like these people, and it's not even a woman thing or a man thing. It's a both genders.
Mm-hmm.
They go by. They have like a Tesla, um, nice shoes, nice clothes, right? A lot of nice stuff, jewelry,
Mm-hmm.
in VIP sections. You know what I'm saying? And then you find out they live with their mom, right? And you be like, so you and all your kids live with your mom? Like that's, but no wonder you can flex like that, making $70,000 a year. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the people who are like, I paid off $100,000 worth of debt.
Right.
And what do? They lived in their parents' house.
Right.
They were able to save all of their money and put all of their money towards that debt. So yeah,
Right.
obviously you're gonna pay it off, right? Like
Right.
you gotta tell me the whole story. Don't just piecemeal me. You gotta
Yeah,
give me the
yeah.
whole thing, right?
So you really have to be careful. Like, and that's what I always try to tell people. Like, man, people be asking me certain stuff, like, well, saying, why don't you go buy this? Why don't you go get this? I be like, dude, I have a mortgage. Okay. I'm gonna pay this mortgage on time. I'm gonna do that first. Gonna take care of my son and everything else. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. Because I'm comfortable with me. Like nothing on social media tells me I need to be doing that. I don't need to do
Yeah,
that. I need to do what I can do. And
yeah,
like people like try to everybody wants social media and the people that follow them on social media to affirm and tell them that they're living good. You know, and
right,
it's a very weird way to live. And I think it creates a lot of depression within people because I think people feel like they're not doing enough. When it's like, man, you're doing the best you can. Like it's okay. You know what I'm
right.
saying? We don't all get the same starting point in life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We don't, and you can't start at my finish line.
right.
We don't all get the same starting point, and you can't start at my finish line, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, I think it's good to applaud people for their success. I think it's good to praise, people for their accomplishments, their achievements.
Right.
I love seeing my friends win. I love seeing them come up. I love seeing them advance. I love seeing them tackle and achieve their goals. I also know that I have a good security in myself that their success doesn't dim my light,
Right.
right? We all shine. We shine differently. We still can shine, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the blessing in being able to know yourself, as you mentioned previously, right? You know who you are, you know how you operate,
Right.
you're secure in yourself. And I think that's one of the things that I try to instill in Minicat, right? I try to tell her, like, you want more followers, but what does that mean to you? Why do you
Yeah.
want more followers?
Right.
Right? What are you trying to prove? And at this age, they no longer need their parents' approval. They now strive for their peer approval,
Right.
right?
Right.
So it's
It's
having that balance, and that comes back to my point before of, being able to provide a foundation to make sure she's secure in knowing who she is, that she doesn't have to flex. And if you want to flex, I get it, right?
yeah.
But everybody's not going to be happy for you.
Yeah.
And on top of that, everybody's not portraying who they really are.
Right.
Right. So while you're doing well and you think somebody's doing better or more than you, you have to understand that these are facades. These are not real.
Yeah. It's not
And that then relates into, you know, the metaverse is going to be something normal for her, right? Where for
right.
me, it's going to be like I could take it or leave it. For
Right.
her, that's going to be life for her.
Mhm.
So I have to do the things now to make sure she understands, hey, you have to be yourself and understand that everybody's not as they present.
Yeah.
And making sure that I'm raising a productive human being to operate in this world to decipher from the two. Because if these things are going the way that I think that it's going,
And it's going that
you
way.
you really are going to have to know yourself inside and out.
Yeah.
That's one of the things my friends always told me, when they wanted to go to LA and become actors.
Mhm.
One of my guy friends literally, I want to call it an intervention, but it was so funny. We all were getting together for a kickback, and he said, "Hey, I'm gonna give it to you straight. It is hard becoming an actor if you
Right.
don't have, any connections, if you don't really have anyone who you can really rely on or trust in that's already in the industry. It's hard to break in."
Right.
But when you go to LA, you better know yourself.
Right.
And you better know yourself well enough to know your boundaries, your limits, what you're willing to do and what you're not going to do,
Right.
because they will push you past that. And
Wow.
you got to be able to say yay, nay, or, all of the above.
Y-
Um,
Yeah, it's man that it's crazy, man, because people have you chasing a facade they're not even living, like, and you just can't get wrapped up in all of that. You know what I'm saying? And you talking about people becoming actors. Like, I want my son to be a dreamer because I think I wasn't you know, growing up, it was like you had to be responsible right then. It wasn't I didn't have time to just like dream and pursue certain things because everything felt like it was right now. So I want him to be a dreamer. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like I want that for him, but most dreamers that make it have some security.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Everybody don't get that security, so it's important, man, that people, just I I always tell people, man, social media is not a real place, man. It's not a real. It's a real place, but it's not a real place. If
It was
that makes sense.
it was the metaverse before the metaverse became a thing, right?
Yeah.
It was already an alternate reality before it became a thing, because I will be honest with you and tell you that there were times where I would see things and I'm kind of like, yo, am I living life? Am I doing enough?
Right.
Because how are you able to take a vacation every week? How are you able to go to this place and do these things? And there was a little bit of envy. I'm not gonna lie, maybe
Right.
a lot of bit of envy,
Right.
right? And that's when I had to be grounded and say, hey, I'm doing what I need to do to accomplish the things that I want to do,
Right.
right? If I want to go to this place, that's fine. But now do I want to go because I saw that this person was there?
Right. Did you
Right?
even
Like
care before you saw that? Did you even care about it?
it wasn't even on my radar. It
Right.
wasn't even on my radar. So now, like, I'm very secure in knowing what I want to do and how I want to do it. But I remember those days of Instagram where everybody was a model and everybody was making 10 grand a day and everybody was trading foreign stocks and everybody had a Birkin and
Mhm.
everybody drove a luxury vehicle and everybody, were hustlers and this, that, and the other. And when it finally dawned on me, I'm like, I don't have to do any of that because these people probably aren't even happy with themselves, and I don't have to live to their standard. I set my own standard,
Mhm.
and that's because with age comes wisdom, hopefully, immaturity. But
Right.
needless to say, I'm just interested to see how these things continue to evolve, what they're going to look like.
Let me ask you
um
a question though, Nikki. Before we get out of here,
uh-oh.
we're talking about dating apps and we're talking about metaverses. Um, what's proper DM etiquette? What's proper DM etiquette? Like, what's the proper way to DM, without being a weirdo? Let us in real quick.
Oh man.
See, I'm of the opinion. I'm of the opinion that if a woman likes you, it really don't matter what the fuck you say in that DM or what you put in
No,
there.
I
I,
will dispute
I
that right now because I
no.
I could, oh my God, you can talk yourself out of an opportunity so quickly because
Hmm.
we already have an image of you in our head.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we'll look at your social media and try to find the red flags or
Right.
whatever, or the pink flags as I call them because they're pink before they're red. Um,
True. Good
and
point.
from there, if you come into the date, now I will say this, right? I could like you. I could, even have a crush on you, right?
Hmm.
I will tell you right now, sending me DMs of your eggplant, sending me DMs of
But
I
we
can't say the
discussed
word
it's
I really
never.
want to
We
say.
discussed this. It's never a good idea to send the
It's
eggplants.
never a good idea to start your DM off with a nude. While I appreciate you being upfront, I can't. That will automatically get you shut down with me, right?
Right.
If that's how you lead in. I will say you have to be different. You have to have something catchy. I had someone watch one of my stories on Instagram and saw what book I was reading, and literally sent me a DM. Great minds think alike. Let's read this book together. And that was
Oh, I like
while some
that. I
people
like
consider
that.
that corny, that works for me because I try to read anywhere from 4 to 6 books a year. So if you show me that you like you have this same book or a book by another author, or send me a book suggestion, that will raise an eyebrow. Anyone who is funny, right?
Mhm.
Like literally, there was a snowstorm, and um, someone from LinkedIn, a recruiter from LinkedIn, hit me up and sent like the little wind blowing emojis and was like, "This snowstorm brought me here to give you this opportunity." Right? Even though that was a professional one, I thought that was very, very funny, right? I thought that was different, especially from a recruiting aspect, because most recruiters just come in and say, "Hey, I have this opportunity. Are you interested?"
Right.
You have to be genuine. You have to be authentic. I think we can pick up on that. If you come in there and say, "You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, and I just want to talk to you," I know you've sent that to at least 10 people, right?
That might have been a copy and paste.
Absolutely. Especially if you hit me with a "Hey beautiful" or "Hey pretty" or "Hey gorgeous." Like in my mind, that's definitely a copy or paste, unless you followed it up with something
Mm.
specific, right? Um I've had someone even send me drink suggestions. If I post that I'm at a restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, you'd probably enjoy this drink," or "Try this entree," or whatever the case may be. Now, I will tell you, if I've posted it on my story, if I posted my location, I've already left. But the fact that you think well enough to send me a food suggestion, a drink suggestion, or even inviting me to say, "Hey, I would love to, show you a taste of Atlanta. Boom, boom, boom. Let's meet here."
Right.
That works, wonders. I will tell you the one that really touched me. So Boo saw that I was tweeting about candles because I have this new obsession with candles, and I was like, "Hey, Bath and Body Works is having a sale on candles. If anybody wants to get me some." And literally within, I would say, maybe 10-15 minutes, boom, "Which ones you want?"
Mm.
I
Look
was
at that.
like, yeah, like stuff like that automatically, catches my attention, but it's something that has to truly reel me in, right?
Right.
um Things not to do. Don't say you one of the most beautiful bitches I've ever seen. "Oh my god, I want to bend you over." Like that's not how you start. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not how you started. I just feel that there should be a better way. Like, and women, I think women have to take more advantage of being the initiator as well, right? Case in point, my girlfriend has this person that she's following, and I'll make this short. And she was really interested in him, and she's just been observing things like that. And she showed me his profile, and immediately I'm like, "Oh, he likes cigars." And she's like, "Yeah, he likes cigars. He's a connoisseur." And I was like, "Okay, perfect." I was like, "Here, I got a line for you." So I hit my homeboy up. I was like, "Hey, if a woman was to buy you a cigar, which ones would you want?" He sent me a couple of them. And I
Right.
was like, "Hey, this is what you say to him. Oh my God, you love this cigar. Might I suggest boom,
Right.
boom, boom?"
Right.
And I was like, "Send him that. He's going to respond. He's obviously going to respond."
Mm-hmm.
So the verdict's still out. I don't know if she sent it yet, but that alone, I'm like, you have to pick up on some of those idiosyncrasies. You have to pick up on some of those preferences and things like that and tap into that. And I think if you show initiative and intention and that you're interested in something that they're interested in, I think
Right.
that's a good combination, whether you're a man or a woman. What's some of the weirdest ways that you've been approached in DM, Sam?
I'm a man. Don't get approached in DMs.
Yes, you do. You forgot who you're talking to. You forgot who you're talking to.
Hey, what is going on with you? You know, I have a wholesome image. I have to
You
keep it going.
you are. I know you. Aren't you about to host Bible study in a few minutes? I gotta let you go, right?
I like
Like
to get everybody together and just share cheese and wine. Not
in
anything
in the
special, just
word.
sparkling wine.
in the word of God.
No, I was approached one time. This was funny because I didn't even realize this girl even liked me. I had tweeted something, and she had tweeted me suggestions on the thing I was talking about, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I talked to her for a little while.
Somebody's being modest. Somebody's being modest.
Yeah,
But no, I think we all have a weird DM story. But I think the myth is that if you like the person or if the person is attractive, they can't say anything wrong. And I am here to dispel that once more. You can say something wrong. You can talk yourself out of the opportunity. That's not what I want to say, but that's the PG version of what.
But is it like a
saying.
Is it like but the leash is a little bit longer though, right? Like it's a little longer. Like, yeah, we should not say that. You kind of tell them, hey, can you not say that no more?
Yeah, they don't make Hallmark cards that just say "shut up and be cute." they don't. They don't make cards that just say "please don't say anything." They don't have a specialty card for that. I may need to send that suggestion over.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. So.
That's good to know. So now everybody has proper DM etiquette now. We've enlightened
And hey,
listeners.
reach out to us. We want to hear what your thoughts are on the metaverse, virtual reality, dating in today's day and age. Please reach out to us. Remember to follow us on social media. We are on Instagram and Twitter. Under the handle "So What's Next," all one word. We are also on YouTube. So What's Next? Please like, comment, subscribe, interact with us. We want to hear what you're thinking and also other topics you want us to cover. But ultimately, we're here to cover topics that we are hearing about today and probably won't even care about tomorrow.
The metaverse sounds like safe sex, but that's a conversation for another.
Oh, we need to do that. Okay, we're coming back to that. Metaverse sounds like safe sex.
And that's the episode.